Hi guys, I'm Trish, and I'm so absolutely professional at this that I just tried to turn my phone on with my mouse. So that sets the tone for the video, doesn't it? I saw a meme online today. Oh, hair keeps getting in my face. I saw a meme online today about a girl who went on a date with a guy. They went to see a movie, and then she went back to his place and he said to her, do you want to come outside to the trampoline? So they went out to the trampoline and it was all full of pillows and blankets and everything. And he said there was a meteor shower that night and wanted to know if she wanted to watch it with him. So they just laid on the trampoline for a couple of hours just talking and talking and talking, and she fell asleep and stuff. Now that is such a beautiful, beautiful date. It's if a guy did that for me, I would love that. It doesn't even have to be a trampoline. Just put a blanket down in the backyard. Well, they would probably get eaten by bugs and stuff, but it's still, the whole premise of that is so lovely. So it got me thinking, trying to remember like what my best dates have ever been. And I'll tell you about the first two that come to my mind straight away, and they were both first dates. First date, and this was back in my early 20s when I was still going out clubbing and stuff. I could think of nothing worse to do now, but back then that's what I used to do. And I'd been out at the club and met a guy, and before, I think he left early, I can't remember, but before he left, he gave me his number and his address, and he said to me, I've got to go to a christening tomorrow. If you want to come with me, be at my place at 9 a.m, right? And so I said, yeah, okay. So I went home and I woke up the next morning quite early, really hungover, and I thought, oh, that guy was kind of cute. I might go. So, I got up and I had a shower and I got ready and drove over to his place, and I just went up and, knocked on his front door about 8:45 in the morning. And he came to the door and he was really surprised to see me. And I said to him, you said if I wanted to go out with you today, if I want to go to this christening with you, to come. And he's like, oh, no, sorry, I just didn't think you would. This is great. I love this. So, and he was an Aquarian boy. This is the sort of thing that Aquarian boys do. So, yeah, so he was still getting ready. So he finished getting ready, and ended up being, it was his neighbours, one of his neighbours was having a christening for their kid, which was just right next door to his place. So we went along to the christening. I think it was in a church. It was in a church. So we went to the church to the christening. This is the first date. And then we went to his neighbour's place for the after christening party or whatever they do. And he was just introducing me. Oh, this is a girl I met at the club last night. And everyone was very welcoming, and it just all seemed very normal. And then he said to me, he goes, oh, my mate's selling his house, the auction's today. Do you want to come to that with me? Like, they're thinking it's going to go for $1 million. And, like $1 million back in what would have been probably 1989 or 1990 was just like such a phenomenal amount of money. So I was like, yeah, if that's all right. And he said, yeah, of course, come with me. So I went along to this his mate's house's auction. And do you know what? I can't even remember if it did go for $1 million. I can't remember if it even sold. But we went to the auction, and it was very, very exciting. And he was introducing me to all of his mates there. And then we went for a coffee. It was in Essendon. We went for a coffee, and then he goes, oh, I'm going to go back to this christening after party. Do you want to come back with me for that? And I'm like, yeah, all right. So we went back for that for a bit more. And then after that, he's like, oh, do you want to go out to dinner tonight? So I was like, yeah, all right. So we went out and we had Chinese for dinner. So the day just lasted all day with this guy that I'd only met the night before. And it might seem like it was really weird, but it was actually really, really nice. And we ended up seeing each other like just casually for, I don't know, I don't even remember, like a few months. I can't remember. But it was, yeah, I think just the weirdness of it, going to a christening and an auction and, and then dinner and meeting, like all of his friends and neighbours and everything on the first day. It was lovely. And the other best date that I could think of was only, I don't know, about two or 3 years ago. I'd seen this guy in one of the singles groups on Facebook, and we have like, or we used to, I haven't seen it for a while, but they used to do selfie Sundays. So you can imagine that there was a lot of, people just, like hung over in bed and, sleeping in and whatever. So there'd be a lot of, like no makeup, messy hair selfies. So I was still in bed when I saw it. So I snapped a selfie of myself in bed, and I'll pop it up here just so you can see what the photo was if I can find it. I won't pop up the other guy's photo in case people actually recognise him, because as I said, I'm going to be protecting the identity of people. But yeah, so then he popped up a selfie, and it was his, because he was very new in the group. He popped up a selfie which was like a mirror image of what I had posted, him in bed as well. And I looked at him, and sometimes you look at someone and you think, ooh. And I looked at him, I thought he was absolutely gorgeous. He just had these boyish good looks about him. So I went and I checked out his profile, or not his profile, but his Facebook, as you do in singles groups. And I had a look through it, and he seemed like a really nice guy. And then I saw that he lived just a little bit too far away from me. So I thought, no, I'm not going to pursue anything there. I'm not going to message him or anything. So then, a couple of months goes by, and he was pretty quiet in the group. And then one day there was a thread about star signs, I think, like one of those ones where it's, like who's your perfect match, or what sort of star signs do you like, that sort of thing. And I popped up because I really like Aquarius men and Scorpio men. That's my thing. It shouldn't be, because they're a nightmare, but that's just what I am attracted to. And so he was a Scorpio, and so then, like we were, talking about, just star signs and astrology and stuff, like within the group, in the thread. And because I'd already written him off, and then he was like, oh, do you want to meet up and, just talk about birth charts and stuff? And I was like, yeah, okay, because I'm thinking, oh, make a friend, he's got a common interest. So we arranged to meet up the next day. So it wasn't even meant to be a date. It was just meant to be, we were going to go for a walk and then, go and get a coffee or a drink and talk about astrology. That was it. So I went to like where we're meant to meet up, and he drove in and he walked up towards me, and I looked at him and I thought, oh, that's nice. But I thought, no, he lives too far away. And then, so we went for a walk, and we went, okay, well, we'll go and get a drink. And we went and got a drink, and he was like, do you want to get dinner? And I said, yeah, okay, we'll have some dinner, we'll have something to eat. And we were just talking and talking and talking, and we got along so well. And because I live at the beach, so then that's where we walked. And then, because it was in summer, like in the height of summer, so it was quite late by the time, like sunrise, I think, not sunrise, sunset was, I don't know, probably about 9 o'clock or something. So we headed back along the beach just before sunset, and it looked like it was going to be a pretty nice sunset. And so, I said to him, oh, do you want to sit down and watch the sunset? So we went and we sat down on the beach, and we were watching the sun go down. And I'll pop up a photo. I actually took a photo of the sunset that night. So it was a pretty nice sunset. And then we ended up just laying on that beach until about 3 o'clock in the morning, and we could, because it was really, really hot. I think it was over 40 that day. It was just absolutely like so hot. So we ended up just laying on that beach, talking and cuddling and kissing, and we just, just when you have those conversations where you talk about everything and nothing. And he spoke Spanish to me, and something about the stars or something, I don't know. It was very, very romantic. So that was one of my best ever. And they were both first dates, both very different. Second one wasn't even meant to be a date. That second guy that I sat on the beach with, we ended up seeing each other for a couple of months. It didn't work out, but that sort of, it progressed from there, because as it turned out, where he lived wasn't really too far away from me. So yeah, that's 2 of my best dates. If you want to pop down in the comments and tell me what your best dates were, whether they were first dates or 100th dates, tell me, because I love all these dating stories. Tell me what your best dates have been.